Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Sports Card Fan 805. Back again with another video, but it's actually been about 3 months since I've posted a video. Maybe longer than that, actually, even. Just been pretty busy. But I have been buying and submitting to Beckett, and just wanted to show off some returns from some grading that I've done and some pickups that I've been making. Definitely a variety of cards: basketball, baseball, football, pretty much what I collect. So just wanted to show off what I have here. First card here is just from Beckett submission, and it's the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame, Derek Jeter. This is the SP foil card. It's an 8.5. Was really happy to get this back in an 8.5. I had a Beckett 9 and I sold it last year. So I was wanting to get another SP at some point and try to grade it. And yeah, his stuff, I thought his stuff would actually really take off even more after he got inducted. It hasn't really. It has some other stuff has increased a little bit, but I thought it would. I thought some of his stuff, most of his stuff, would really start to climb even more. But I think over time, though, it'll still go up. All of his stuff will still go up. So I was really happy to get this back in an 8.5. And next card is a real banger right here. This is the Luka Donruss Optic. This is the hollow version, the silver version. This is a 9.5 true gem. Really happy to get this back in a 9.5. Luka stuff is pretty hot right now, and so was really happy to get a 9.5 back in a true gem. 9.5 is that is there, all 9.5 subs, so really happy with that. Next card here is this Anthony Rendon. Excuse me. This is the Bowman Chrome. This is the blue refractor. This is to 150. Got a 9. The surface got an 8.5. When I bought the card, I got it off eBay, got it in the mail. I noticed there were some scratches, and I got rid of some. There were a couple more that were sort of really hard to get rid of. I may actually crack this out and see if I can try to at least make some, make another effort to try to clean it up a little bit better, because the surface got an 8.5, and I believe it's because of the scratches, which are like kind of up here on the top of the card. Centering got a 9, which I understand. All three, the left to right and the top, are pretty well centered, but then the bottom is just definitely way off. It's probably like 80-20. And so I'm just gonna see if I can crack it out and maybe try to clean up the surface as best as I can. And maybe the next grader will give the centering a 9.5, and I can get a 9 surface somehow. But we'll see. If not, then I'll just take whatever grade they give me again. So that's that card. And next card here is this 89 Upper Deck Griffey. And so this is just an iconic card, as we all know. I actually sold a PSA 10 that I had today. And I got this back. I've just been buying a lot of Griffies lately, and I just love buying Upper Deck Griffies. Griffey was my favorite player of all time, and it's just fun trying to find gems on eBay, diamonds in the rough, so to speak, I guess, in a way, because there are some out there. You just kind of have to pay attention and really look. And so this one I got off eBay, and it came back a 9.5. They gave the centering a 9, which on the front looks really good, but on the back, I could see why they probably gave it a 9. It's pretty off-centered on the back, but on the front it looks really well-centered. But Beckett, they grade front and back centering, so they take that into consideration. So I can see why they gave it a 9, but still a beautiful card. I was really happy with that. Next card here is actually a card that I had purchased, or at least I made a trade in cash for. And it was this Kobe Bryant. This is the Topps Chrome. his key rookie card in a 9.5. Really happy to add this card. I've been wanting to add this card for a minute now. Not a true gem, but still, it's a sweet card. Kobe stuff has just actually been really taking off. His this card in a PSA 10 has, I think, all the way up to like 3,000 now. I've seen some auctions that ended like a little bit more than 3, some that ended at like 2,500. But yeah, this card really taken off. So really happy to add this. And of course, he'll be added to the Hall, or at least to the list of players that are going to be in the Hall. And of course, we know he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And so this card definitely has more potential to increase in value, but it's a card that I'm definitely going to hold on to for quite a while. I'm not going to let this one go for a minute. So yeah, I was really happy to add this one. Next card is this Rendon. This is the orange refractor, number 225. Rendon stuff is still actually fairly cheap. I think it's increased a little bit since he won the World Series last year, but still really cheap. And I think he's finally made a name for himself now. And I think his stuff will start to go up, especially this year playing with Trout. I think he'll have another great year. I know he'll have to adjust to the American League, but I don't think he'll have a problem with that. He's a great player, always has been. He just finally got recognition after being in the World Series. So wanted to pick this up before the season started. Stuff's still really cheap. So somebody that I would suggest I don't really suggest. I just feel like whoever wants to, whichever player you like, go ahead and buy that card. But I don't really suggest buying players. But I think Rendon might be one player to look out for. Try to buy his stuff before the season starts. But yeah, so that's a great card right there. And another card here that I just got in the mail the other day. Actually, was it yesterday? I believe. Yeah, actually yesterday. So this is Jorge Soler. This is a Bowman Chrome. This is his Bowman. This is a rookie card. This is a refractor. Soler had a pretty. He was like kind of sort of under the radar in a way. I mean, he led all majors in homers. He finally stayed healthy. One thing with Soler is that he just cannot stay healthy. And he finally has the time to play every day in Kansas City, and that's the other thing. He plays in Kansas City, so his stuff is really not. There's not really a huge market for his stuff, but I feel like maybe if he stays healthy, this is another maybe player you may want to consider. Like I said, last year he led all baseball in homers. I think he hit like a 51 or 52. He had over 100. I think he had like 120 some RBIs or something like that. So he is in Kansas City. That's the only problem. And yeah, as long as he stays healthy, this could be a player that could start to take off a bit, because he's always had that power. And his problem is staying healthy. So we'll see what happens this year. His stuff is still really cheap too. Really cheap. Good affordable card right here. And next card here. Another guy that I like, even though he's in a small market a really bad team. Trey Mancini. This is the Bowman Chrome refractor. This is number 2, I think $4.99. But Mancini put up some great numbers last year. If you look at his numbers, I mean, they were MVP type numbers. 30 homers. He hit, I think, about a little over 300. I think his RBIs were a little like 80. But I mean, Mancini was doing it all himself. He was a one-man machine. He really didn't have many opportunities to drive in too many runs. But I mean, he's starting to come into his own a bit here too. So here's another player that I kind of like, even though he's on the Orioles, and I don't see them going anywhere this year either. But people may start to appreciate players like him, and you could definitely see a rise in his cards. Card values. So that's that. And let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, I got this card in the mail today. Now, the reason I got this card, I usually don't like BCCG holders, but what I do is I crack the card out and see if I could submit it to Beckett or PSA. We'll see who I'm going to submit this to. Looks pretty well centered. It's got some corner issues here and then here. But other than that, it looks really good. I may submit it to. I have to take a look at the surface once I crack it out. And but I got a pretty good deal on this actually, so that's kind of why I bought it. Usually when I buy stuff like this, BCCG, I usually the intent is to crack it out and see if it could maybe get. I only usually buy the tens because usually with BCCG, if anybody's not familiar with BCCG, they're just a lower end Beckett. They're Beckett run, but they don't. They definitely don't have the same standards as BGS. Not even close, actually. I'm not even sure exactly how these guys grade cards when they grade Beckett cards differently, why they would just do it. I guess they just sort of look at the card and maybe they'll just how it looks. They just more looks grade it how it looks rather than actual, corners, edges, and all that stuff. But usually what happens is if there's a 10, if it's a 10, the card is probably more likely going to be a 9, maybe even an 8. So whatever grade it is, you see a BCG slab and then there's like a 10 or maybe the grade is a 9. The card is probably more likely an actual like a 7 or an 8. So you just consider just whatever grade you see and take maybe 2 grades down. That's probably what the card's grade is really. In reality, it's not really the grade the BCCG gives it. So that's something to keep in mind for anybody who's looking to who's not familiar with BCCG. So I'm going to see if this maybe has potential of getting a 9. If not, I may just end up selling it or whatever, or what we'll see. But that was the intent with this card. Next card, a couple cards here. I'm a Seattle Mariners fan. Like I said, because Griffey was my favorite player. And so, there's eBay there. I picked up a couple prospects. Well, actually, Shed Long played last year. And he was traded from the Reds to the Mariners, and he's going to be their future second baseman. And he did pretty well. So, definitely happy with this card that I was able to get. Even though this stuff's really cheap. Not that this stuff's impossible to get, but I'm just really happy to pick this up because I feel like he is, he's a solid young player, and the Mariners need some help. I don't know if there's any Mariners fans out there, but we've struggled for many years, and they definitely have a lot of young talent. And they have Jared Kelenic and Julio Rodriguez and Noelvi Marte in their farm system, and those guys look like studs. So I'm really hoping that the Mariners in the next couple years will start to play some good ball. This is the purple refractor. And next I got Cal Raleigh. Now this guy, he's sort of up and coming in a way. He was sort of not really. He still kind of is a sleeper, but he tore it up in the fall league. And his stuff I noticed started to climb a bit because of that. So I picked up one of his cards. He's a catcher, and so this guy could be another sleeper here for the Mariners. Really happy to pick this card up. And the next cards I'm going to show off are going to be PS. This is going to be a PSA order. And so I'm just going to show these cards off. These are all cards that I decided to send a PSA rather to Beckett. First card here is this 75 Topps Gary Carter rookie. Really, really clean card. Just perfect card. I mean, I just hope there's nothing wrong with it, like it's not trimmed or anything. I don't have I don't measure cards myself personally, so I don't really know if it's trimmed. But it's just really nice, so it almost looks too nice, but we'll see what PSA says. Although PSA, I'm sure some of you who watch are aware of their whole grading scandal with grading trim cards. And right now there's, an investigation apparently going on with them that they have been grading trim cards or whatever. I hope it's not true because PSA is still, the best grading company out there. And it would definitely ruin their reputation or whatever. But I still grade with them, and I know a lot of people still do. But I just hope that nothing comes of the investigation. But I'm going to be sending this off. That's one card. Next card here is this Jerry Rice uh, Fleer. This is Fleer, excuse me, Topps rookie. Just a beautiful card here. I got this off eBay, and so I was really happy to add this because this card looks really clean. I won this in an auction. Really nice looking card. Really sharp. Probably one of the best. 86 Topps football is just impossible. Really impossible to get a 9 in. I mean, most of these cards that are raw are just corners are dinged up, edges are, kind of worn a bit. It's just a really tough card to get a 9 in. But this card looks really clean. I'm hoping there's nothing wrong with this card as well. So that's that card. The next card here is this Steve Young Topps card. Another beautiful card here, and like I said, another tough card to get a 9 in. I've tried so many times to send in, actually the Rice card, and I think I've sent in several of these in the past, and the highest grade I've gotten is an 8. So we'll see what these two cards get. Next card here is this. This is the 88 Fleer Jordan All-Star card. It's a beautiful card here too. Probably a 9, but we'll see what PSA says. I've sent in this card before thinking I was going to get a 9, and I got a 10. So sometimes even your own opinion, someone else could see differently. That's the thing when you send in cards, really. I mean, you try to make your best judgment on a card, and then someone else could see something that you didn't see, or maybe they didn't see what you saw, or whatever. But yeah, we'll see what this card gets. And next card here is this is the base. This is the Fleer. What is this? Fleer Metals. Yeah, that's what it is. This card in a 10 goes for I think like 150, and this card's like I think I paid like $5 for it. But it's a beautiful card. I looked this card over up and down because I didn't see anything wrong with it. Kind of a tough card too because it's a foil, and these can scratch, but it looks really clean. So we'll see what happens with that. And I think that's it. Kind of a long video, so like I said, I haven't posted anything for a while. So this is kind of just in the last few months, all my stuff that I've picked up and graded. So I hope you guys enjoy, and happy collecting to everyone out there. Thank you.